Welcome to episode 393, Barry Sherman, the only self-made billionaire murder case in the world. This is an outline of episode 393. There are 3 reasons why we study the murder mystery of Barry and Honey Sherman. First, it happened in Canada, one of the most peaceful nations on earth. Second, 10 months and a $10 million award, it is still a mystery. Third, Sherman is a PhD from MIT. It shows high IQ. Fame and fortune cannot buy you everything, including your life. The murder-suicide according to Toronto police.
11:44 a.m., December 15th, Toronto police get the call. It's understood to have come from the Shermans' real estate agent handling the house sale. The agent was also a family friend. Police send out a tweet. 2 people found deceased in a home. Word that those people were Barry and Honey Sherman spread fast. The couple was last seen on the 13th. A source close to the case told CBC Honey Sherman was still wearing the clothes she'd had on 2 days earlier.
Honey and Barry Sherman were found deceased in the lower level pool area, hanging by belts from a poolside railing in a semi-seated position.
That pool is pictured here on the Shermans' real estate listing. Their home was up for sale, and many people had access to a key through the lockbox. Those are some of the people police are talking to because there was no sign of a forced entry. Police say they've interviewed 127 people.
Who is Barry Sherman? He's a rocket scientist with a PhD from MIT.
Barry Sherman was known for battles in the courts over the years as founder of the multi-billion-dollar generic drug company Apotex.
Who is Honey Sherman?
My husband thinks I'm nuts for doing this.
I thought maybe she was joking because of her arthritis. She's had such difficulties in recent years, even walking.
Bill and I have been practicing all the time and everywhere we go. Dancing in the coffee shop, dancing in the shoe store, dancing in the park, dancing in the drugstore with Apotex products.
Dancing on the Great Wall of China.
Toronto police approach versus Sherman family
The
approach.
next day, December 16th, media reports quoting unnamed sources within the police floated the murder-suicide theory. CBC has learned it was the Saturday morning the Sherman children reached out to private investigators who would later have access to crime scene photos and a second autopsy. Less than 24 hours after their parents' bodies were found, they were already furious with police. 4:14 p.m., December 16th, they released this statement. We're shocked and think it's irresponsible that police sources have reportedly advised the media of a theory which neither their family, their friends, nor their colleagues believe to be true. Now, 6 weeks after the bodies were found, the police publicly say they agree the Shermans were murdered.
Who are the suspects? They number in the hundreds. The Shermans had too many enemies.
Big part of it.
The extremely important part, we know in federal court alone that there were more lawsuits involving Barry Sherman and his competition than anybody else in Canada. You know, my sources told me that one of the strategies of Barry Sherman was to get all the law firms here in Toronto locked up so the competition couldn't have those good law firms. So, cutthroat nature of the pharmaceutical industry, and here's a clip.
He was the biggest and the most successful and had made a lot of enemies and was extremely litigious and was continuing to be so. Didn't care about making friends, didn't care about making peace with anybody. He was going to win at all costs.
Pillars of the community, they contributed millions to charity. They were well-liked and admired and respected in the community. But we do know in the pharmaceutical industry, it got personal. And for example, there was a name brand company in Europe that actually discussed putting him in compromising positions, planting cocaine on him, compromising sexual positions, that kind of thing. And when that didn't work, they actually hired spies to go to the picnic tables at Apotex, dress up as workers, and talk to employees to try and get dirt on Barry Sherman.
He, in his paranoia, wondered if maybe somebody should have knocked him off by now, because that would have ended the whole problem for the other side. And he said something like, for $1,000, he said, for $1,000, you can probably get somebody killed.
Kerry Winter is the cousin of Barry Sherman. His father founded a generic drug company that Barry Sherman took over in 1967.
Winter and his siblings sued, seeking a piece of the Apotex fortune. But last September, an Ontario Superior Court judge dismissed the case as wishful thinking. The Winters are appealing, but Kerry Winter has been ordered to pay Sherman back $8 million in promissory notes he signed over the years.
I was betrayed. My cousin hurt me, and now I want to hurt him.
Police have determined Barry and Honey Sherman were both victims of a targeted homicide. But now Kerry Winter insists, without evidence, that Barry could have killed his wife. Because Winter claims in the late 1990s, Barry Sherman asked him to arrange a contract hit on her.
There was a time in his office that he turned to me and he said, "Kerry, I want you to do me a favor." And I said, "What's that, Barry?" He said, "I want you to whack my wife." And I said, "Come on, Barry. You want me to kill your wife?" He goes, "I didn't say you. You know some people. Could you arrange that for me?"
What do you believe? His claim is unsubstantiated. So we put Kerry Winter through a 3-hour lie detector test.
No.
Kerry Winter failed.
What that means is there's something that you're hiding in. There's
So I
something
failed.
Yeah, you failed. Yeah, you failed.
Winter seemed shaken.
The $10 million award.
But in this case, at this stage of the investigation, the manner in which the Toronto Police Service conducted itself fell well below that standard. For the family, the most perplexing and upsetting aspect of the investigation was the failure to recognize the obvious, that the bodies of Barry and Honey Sherman were staged post-mortem in a very deliberate manner. This entire process has caused needless additional pain and suffering to the Sherman family. Regrettably, it has become clear to them. The Sherman family has asked me to announce the offer of a reward of up to $10 million for information leading to the apprehension and prosecution of those responsible for the murders of Honey and Barry Sherman.
In November 2018, we just have to wait. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. Wishing this billionaire murder will be resolved soon.